Interesting title. This changes everything. Well, let's hope so. Inspired out of 1 Corinthians 15, Christ has indeed been raised from the dead, the first fruits of those who have fallen asleep. Here's a tough name. Jaroslav Pelikan, longtime Yale professor, considered one of his generation's preeminent authorities on Christian history, was renowned for his extensive academic career. He published more than 30 books and won the esteemed Klug Prize as a lifetime award for his voluminous writing. One of his students, however, recounted what he considered his teacher's most important words, spoken from his deathbed. In quotes, "If Christ is risen, nothing else matters. And if Christ is not, nothing else matters." End of quote. Pelikan echoed Paul's conviction. If Christ has not been raised, our preaching is useless, and so is your faith. The apostle made such a bold statement because he knew that the resurrection was not merely a one-off miracle, but rather the pinnacle of God's redeeming work in human history. The promise of resurrection wasn't only his assurance that Jesus would rise from the dead, but his bold affirmation that other dead and ruined things, lives, neighborhoods, relationships, would also one day be brought back to life through Christ. If there's no resurrection, however, Paul knew that they were in deep trouble. If there's no resurrection, then death and destruction win. But of course, Christ has indeed been raised from the dead. Destroyed by the victor, death loses, and Jesus is the first fruits of all the life that will follow. He conquered evil and death so that we could live bold and free. This changes everything. What difference does it make to understand the expansive hope of Jesus' resurrection? Where do you need resurrection in your life? God, allow me to see how Jesus' resurrection changes everything about my life now and forever. I think if you took the time with a specific idea in mind, born again, if you read the book of Acts, go through your Gospels, and try to figure out on your own, what do you think the Bible is trying to tell you about born again? Not what your preacher tells you, not what someone like me, what I'm telling you, not what some pamphlet you read. Actually reading the Bible and trying to figure out, okay, this born again, what you know. And if you read it with that specific question in mind, I believe you'll get the answer. Because that's a real important aspect of what we're trying to do, especially if you're following the teachings of Jesus. I know I get caught up with Matthew 5, 6, and 7, John 14, 15, 16, and that's the focus or whatever, but I think that's all part of very important. If we're walking out those steps, those words, that's a part of our being born again. And I really think the born again, whatever you want to call it, let's just call it born again, I think has really been corrupted. What people are being taught today, this is not legitimate. But I could be wrong. I believe if you read the Bible, read the Gospels, the book of Acts, and really any of the epistles, with the question in mind, okay, what is this born again? And I believe you get your answer. Love you, God bless.